Welcome, Final Four, to the Final Four Tribal Council, where one of you will be going home tonight and fall short of the money and the title. I wanted to start with let's start with Rachel. So winning Final Four immunity, that's a big deal. It gives you a lot of leverage and power, especially in this position. How much are you thinking about this vote, getting out the right person, and that final two seat?
Sorry, I'll just talk because I can't type fast enough for this not to be annoying. I don't know. It feels good. I feel like there was a chance for me to be receiving votes if I did not win. So I am happy about that, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, today is a weird day. But I don't know. I've had like a pretty clear like goal and idea of how I wanted to get here and who I wanted to get here with. Um, and so like winning immunity was just kind of the like cherry on top that I'd be able to like make that happen, which is cool.
Do you want to share that goal?
Um, I, um, I mean, I've had a final three since pretty much day one, um, of me, Jake, and Jackson. Um, which getting to this point was like kind of impossible and felt impossible, especially when we literally got down to a tribe of just the three of us when we were swapped. But I don't know, we made it and it's cool and I'm excited, but still sucks.
Josh, stop yelling at your mother. We have a tribal to do.
Sorry. Um, okay. So yeah, big stuff. I wanted to move to Drew. Drew, you came very close to winning that immunity challenge, and did you feel like you really needed it?
Oh, I knew I needed it. I knew I needed it. After Final Six, well, really after Final Seven, Tribal, I knew at that point, like, it was either going to be make or break for the most part for me, especially with this tight trio. Uh,
So
being a Final Three since day one, even though it was more like day zero, but hey. Um, so, yeah, when I lost by a tiebreaker, too, that was really devastating.
so with Rachel saying that her goal was a final three with the two people here, what's your plea to stay if considering she has immunity?
I've already made my plea to stay. I've already asked her to allow it to go to fire making, to at least give me a chance. Because Endgame is not a final three, Endgame is a final two. If it was a final three, I would understand that. But it's not a final three for Final Tribal Council, it's a final two. But she had it set in her mind that she wanted the angle to be what her angle was, so there's nothing I can do about it. I can only hope that she had a change of heart, but I don't foresee that.
I mean, at this point for me, I feel like every person here would cut me for third, so like why not at least like stick with the people that have had my back the entire game. But that's just kind of where my head's at.
Mhm.
Do, so you feel like you're going to be cut for third?
Yeah.
Would you then feel maybe to shift things up if that's the case, considering you have immunity tonight?
At this point, if I'm gonna get it anyway, I would at least want to like fight against the people that I've like been playing the entire game with. At least that's like how I see it. And I think doing something to flip on them now would just give them even more reason to cut me for third. Whereas like I can at least still try to make an argument of loyalty here. Because that's pretty much all I've got at this point.
So Jake, where do you fall into this discussion? Because you have Drew pleading for his life, Rachel saying she thinks she's gonna get cut third, but wants to go to the final 3 that she says that she had from day 1. So what's your thought process and everything, and where do you stand in all of it?
It's hard because I think it's a weird position for me personally because, I have a feeling Drew's voting for me. So I feel like I don't know what he's doing. I've asked him to vote for Jackson just to, throw a vote on Jackson. Yeah, he is. So then my vote's going back on him and it's up to the other 2 to want to keep me around.
Would you like to share why I'm voting for you, though? Because I've explained to you why I'm voting for you and why I won't vote for Jackson.
Because you want me to do it?
Yeah. You want somebody to go to the end with you and not have a single vote on them. If you want something like that done, do it yourself then.
I know,
for you.
1000% agree. I just 1000% agree. I've even told Jackson, said I'm not letting you get to the end, but things happen, people change, the game changes, and here we are. And like I said, I fall into it where I'm getting another vote tonight. So I just got to hope that the 2 people I've worked with all game have my back tonight.
Okay. I was gonna ask Jackson if how fluid is this final 4 vote for you, or are you in the same position as everyone else?
I'm kind of in the same position. Drew knows I love him to death, but I've made this final 3 since basically day 1, and I fully plan to stick with it, and then have us 3 battle it out for that final immunity.
Okay. Drew, do you feel like mistakes may be made tonight, and possibly do you feel like you've made mistakes along the road as well?
I think regret's a fool's game. I think if you regret something that you did and you want to go back in time and maybe change it, you might not get the same outcome that you got. You might get a worse outcome. So I think you just kind of take the good with good and take the bad with bad. And if there's something that you might feel like you could possibly regret, don't regret it, just learn from it. So I don't regret anything. I'm proud of how far I've come in this game and what I've accomplished. I've never felt kind of like on the bottom before and had to feel like I had to fight to get near the end. So me having to go through that was a very humbling experience nonetheless.
Okay, I want to ask each person the same question and see what I get. Since I was just on Drew, I'll start with you. Do you know who you want to sit next to in the final 2?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm not getting there. But if I had a chance to, I knew exactly who I'd want to sit next to.
Would you like to share those thoughts to the class?
I'd actually want to sit next to Rachel, which I think is funny why she says that she's getting third no matter what. An eye for an eye. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's always how I am. That's always how I will be.
Okay, I'll ask Rachel now. Do you know who you want to sit next to in the final 2?
Zach, but y'all killed him like 5 rounds ago, so. I have a general idea, but I'm honestly still thinking a lot, but like, gotta win immunity first, so. Just depends.
Jake, do you know who you want to sit next to in the final 2?
I have a pretty good idea, but it's not always my favorite, you know? Like it's hard regardless, but game-wise, I think I have a pretty good idea.
Would you like to share that?
No.
Okay. And Jackson, do you have an idea?
I would say I definitely have an idea. But, you know, things could change. I haven't really. I mean, I've thought about it. But you know, a certain conversation, one conversation could change your mind. But I think I think I have a good idea.
By show of hands, raise your hand if you think that you may make a mistake from here, this vote, or final three in terms of decision making.
Wait, you cut out. What's the question?
Raise your hand if you think that you may make a game-breaking mistake at the final four or the final three moving forward. I guess everyone's confident in what they're gonna do. So with that, I think it's a good time to go vote. Madison or Keaton, do you have any questions? Nick,
I have a question.
go ahead.
So we've heard a lot of talk about finals and final threes and final twos, but ultimately, obviously, we know that this is a final two game and that two people will be sitting together at the end. How are these votes playing into your final pitch into the game? This is just kind of an open question. Like your final pitch at final two with the jury that stands before you, like, are these the moves for final two, or are these the moves for right now for y'all? They're going to impact your end game.
Or is this a question no one feels comfortable answering?
I mean, I'm getting four, so I figured one of them would answer first. Because it's not gonna matter for me after tonight. But if I had to answer the question, I'm sure if I was somehow able to make it to the finals, I don't know if the jury would necessarily agree with some of the decisions I made in the game, which is perfectly fine because I didn't agree with some of the decisions other people in this game made. It's just the name of the game. You can't really control other people's decisions and what they choose to do with their vote or who they talk to or who they work with. You can only decide what you do in the game. So honestly, every vote, I do what I feel I need to do for my game, whether that's voting a majority and getting somebody out. So be it. If it's voting a minority, so be it. Whatever I feel is right in my heart to do, that's what I'm going to do no matter what.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot the question.
It was basically just like, how are these moves impacting your end game with the jury that will stand in front of you should you make final two? And yeah, that was basically it.
I guess for me, like the three of us have played like very similar games. So to me, it kind of makes sense to hope that I like outplayed there rather than giving the jury like another option. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But like if they want to like root for the underdog story, then like Drew has that in the bag. And I feel like if I do make the end, I have a better chance with the three that I am envisioning. But if I'm completely wrong, then I'm stupid and whatever. If I messed this up and I get third in like 2 days, then I'll go hold Drew's hand in the jury house. Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. At this point, I absolutely adore everyone in this final four. So like, it's a hard decision regardless, and like, it sucks to be in a position to have to make that decision, but it is what it is. And at the end of the day, it's a game, and we came here to have fun. So that's that's where I'm at.
I don't think we're gonna get any more responses for that question, so.
That's fine.
If you have anything else?
I'm good. Does anybody else have anything?
Raise your hand if you feel like you're in danger of going home tonight.
I'm gonna burn you. I'm actually gonna burn you into a goddamn crisp.
Interesting.
So usually we get everyone raising their hand, but tonight just Drew?
And why do you think that is? No, I'm not gonna make y'all go through all that again.
Okay, we're gonna,
So we're gonna go over this again.
well, okay, let's get to the votes. Please confirm your votes in your prod chat and then we'll read the votes.
Drew, are you eating popcorn?
I sure am.
Can you
It's just-
share?
It just felt right for this moment. Wait, you said can I share?
Yeah, but then you're gonna say
Don't
something.
forget I know.
Okay, I have the votes. Once the vote is read, the decision is final. The person with the most votes will have to leave the tribal council area immediately. I will read the votes. First vote. Drew. Second vote. Jake. Third vote. Drew. That's 2 votes Drew, 1 vote Jake, 1 vote remaining. Final vote. And the 8th member of our jury, Drew. Drew, the tribe has spoken, unfortunately. It is time to go. If you have any final words.
The only thing I can say, congrats on making final 3 like y'all wanted. Too bad one of y'all isn't going to be able to plead your case at the finals. And if one person is in the finals, good luck selling yourself to me, because it's going to be like selling a car to a blind man. That's all I'm going to say. But thanks for having me. I came in here technically didn't even apply. Y'all literally asked me last minute if I wanted to play, and so I was like, sure, I probably won't do so well, but why the fuck not? And here I am at Final Four. So this game was a very humbling experience. There was highs, there was lows. But I wouldn't trade it for anything because, like I said earlier, there's every game I've ever played, I've never felt so on the bottom and had to basically fight for my life in the game. So that's an experience that I won't be able to lose and can't be taken away from me. And I'm very grateful for that. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for playing, Drew. You know, we enjoyed having you so much.
It's your best survivor placement because you kicked butt and you're so good and I love you a lot and I'm really
It is
sorry.
my best. I will say that is my best survivor placement. Best before this was 8th place. So I'm happy. But bye, guys. Good luck.
And with that, we have our final 3, but one of you will fall just short after playing this game for just about over a month. We'll all go to nothing and have 3rd place. But that is all I have for tonight. I'll tell you guys how the challenge and times will go for your final immunity challenge, plus rites of passage and all that stuff. So I'm going to end the recording.